2 of my exes came back into my life, and things are getting confusing.
X marks the spot?
This is an anime on Crunchyroll. Trigger warning for mentions of self-harming thoughts. Honestly, this is going to be incredibly hard for me to sum up. My name is Alex, male 36, and I have 2 exes, Ava, female 36, and Rachel, female 34. Up front, there's a lot of context I can't really put in here, both for space and for fear of being too easily identifiable. I'm keeping this as anonymous as possible. By the way, this comes from throwaway3conf811, and if you want to spit your own stories, go to the r/OKStorytime subreddit. So,
I'm preemptively getting the whiteboard.
we only have 3 characters.
I feel like there's gonna be more.
Dakota can't handle the 3 characters. It's just too much.
No, I'm just getting it ready.
Okay. I've known Ava since we were 11. We met at school, kind of one of those K through 12 prep schools. We met in the middle school portion of things. She's about 2 months older than me, and we were close pretty much immediately. We didn't really start dating until after we graduated and ended up, by coincidence, both going to the same college in the same major. That's a lot of coincidences.
Coinky dink.
I don't buy it. It felt like fate, and we started dating after a supposedly platonic birthday hangout became less so fairly quickly. We almost moved in quickly about 4 months after we started seeing each other. Things got strained when her dad got sick. I went with her back to her family home in Montana, where she and her big butt family...
Huh? Maybe just large.
Big family.
Big butt family. Huh?
Where she and her big family, she has 6 brothers, she's the only sister, Weasleys, huddled together and mourned, and I very much was out of place. I'm not mad about that, it's just a fact. I did get to meet her dad, and he did seem to approve of me, which I did appreciate. I feel, would they not have met having like kind of grown up together? I thought they went...
Right, they were school friends.
He's known Ava since she was 11.
But maybe they weren't like really like tight.
Oh, go home to them.
It was just like I knew of her.
He never went to any event. That's kind of crazy. How does he not know them? A lot of Ava's friends from before we met reconnected with her, including douche B, I'll call Todd, male 27. But I wasn't going to try and tell her who to grieve with. Anyway, after her dad passed, I still don't know what he was sick with. She was a wreck and decided to stay with her mom and brothers for a while. Did this man know anything about the girl that he was dating?
Why? Yeah, I don't...
He doesn't know what her father passed away from?
Well, I mean, sometimes...
He never met her? He's known her since she was 11.
It could have been like a weird illness or like a...
But you don't ask? You're not
one.
like, oh my God, like, I'm so, like, what's going on? Like, what is he sick with?
Maybe he did, and she was just like, it's a...
You know what? Maybe she told him, and she was like, it's insert really long, hard to say illness. And he was like, whoop.
Yeah, streptococcal pneumonofungal geongulus.
I figured that was fine. I was more than happy to stay if she needed me too. But I did also have to deal with my own issues because my own dad was sick around the same time and has been for years. Cancer in his lungs, his back, even inside his brain. He kept fighting it off. It would be in remission, and then it would come back somewhere else inside him. I honestly think they'd sent me off to school so I'd not see him in decline. I ended up having to go back to West Virginia and spent a month there. My dad passed, and I stayed with my mom, Sharon, female 58, and my sister, Jess, female 28, and helped with all the tedious things you have to do when someone passes. Dad had basically drafted up a will deciding who got what, not that there was much to get. I was 19 and Jess was 21 at the time, and we were both in school, so mostly the little money left was to take care of Sharon or keep our tuition paid. During this period of time, I hadn't been able to really keep in touch well with Ava. I texted her and called, but she was occupied in grieving, and while I was sad about Dad, I also knew that in his case, it was merciful that he finally passed. I decided instead of trying to call or text, I'd just head back and surprise her.
Well,
I don't know if that's the best idea when someone's grieving.
Yeah.
I don't know if we want to just show up on their door. Maybe give a little heads up.
Yeah, maybe a text being like, hey, do you need anything?
Yeah, do you like have the emotional space for me to come over? I didn't know I would also be surprising Todd.
Oh. Ooh.
in our apartment.
Well, it's Todd.
You might think there was a screaming fight or something. There wasn't. I saw them, saw their faces as they disentangled on the couch and turned and walked out the door. Yikes.
It was just a weird stretch routine.
It's just it was just yoga.
Yeah.
Slept on campus for a while thanks to a very supportive adjunct professor. Got my own place. Stayed well the F away from Ava. Couldn't talk to her. Felt like I'd crack open if I did. It took me 2 years to get over her. And also, Madeline Jean has a good point. I think he's going back to his apartment. Yeah, that was clarified. In fact, I didn't until Rachel fell off a ladder and on to me. What? Like literally?
There's a Rachel.
There's a Rachel and she fell off a ladder and on to OP.
From the heavens.
I'm sorry,
OP's
is this
life.
not a plot line to an anime?
I mean, it could be a Hallmark movie.
This is like romance. Do you know the anime Romance Killer?
Nope.
Okay. This is like Romance Killer, but with a man. Or I was about to graduate when that happened. Rachel was very different from Ava. Ava was somewhat reserved, obsessed with excelling at school and in her chosen field, was always trying to make her whole family proud. Rachel had it's complicated with her family, but was a grinner, a bit of a troublemaker, and honestly, the hottest woman I've ever seen in my entire life. Yes, still.
But mostly I like that she grins a lot.
She grins so much. While Ava was beautiful, Rach was so much more emotional, empathetic, and just plain fun to be around that I fell in love with her despite trying very hard not to. We were married within a year. Wow.
It doesn't feel like you tried hard at all.
Nah, you tried. 0%.
Married within a year.
I had just graduated and was working in my field. I was basically a half step above an intern, but my foot was in the door, and so far my shoe hadn't been crushed yet. And for 2 years, it was great. Until Rach's harmful substance user, drink user, witchmonger of a father showed up.
Wow.
Let's call him Pig because F him.
Pig.
And he was probably in his late 50s at the time, and now he's been closing in on 70.
You could have picked a different name that doesn't make him sound cool, arguably.
Pig?
Yeah, dude. You've never met anyone named Pig, have you?
No.
Exclusively all the people I've met with the name Pig are cool.
How many people have you met named Pig?
Not a lot, like a couple. And it's like it's a nickname, but they're hard workers.
Okay.
And they're cool.
I have a joke, but I won't say it. Pig and I fought a lot. We fought about all the money he was draining out of Rach. We fought about how often and casually he would crush her emotionally and leave her feeling worthless. The wild, somewhat rebellious, always adventurous woman I fell so hard for got washed out and gray whenever her dad was around. I'm not proud of the next thing, especially since he used it perfectly. I went out to try and bond with the a-hole. In my defense, I didn't know half the crap he was up to at the time, and he got me stone wasted and took pictures of me with a woman he found at a bar and showed them to Rach. You're gonna say, and she believed her awful dad over you? And man, I felt that exact way for years. But my therapist made a point about how living in a harmful situation F's you up, and I figured it made sense. We tried to tough it out for a couple of months, but she was broken and I lost her. As is my wont, I ghosted the whole situation, moved, changed my number.
What? Dude!
That's like your MO?
As is my wont.
I'm sorry? He's like, you know how it goes. I ghosted, changed my number?
Oh my God, that makes you look maybe just a little bit guilty.
A little bit, yeah. I'm sorry. She's going to go to her friends and be like, yeah, my ex-husband cheated on me. He swore he didn't do it, but then he like ghosted me and changed his number and fled the country.
State. Crazy.
That's insane. That was about 10 years ago. Things sucked personally, but I was doing fairly well in my career. In fact, I ended up being called as an expert witness in a lawsuit that involved Ava, who'd been one of the people who worked on the project and had correctly pointed out that the design in question needed specific materials or it would fail. This is a freaking anime. There's too many coincidences.
Architects? Architects?
What? What are you talking about?
Well, I don't know. What does she
Working
do?
project and it correctly. She's probably an engineer. That the design in question needed specific materials or it would fail. Because I think they both.
Yes, that does sound pretty engineer-y.
While I didn't think much about Ava as a girlfriend, she was clearly both conscientious and thorough in her documentation, and I did kind of admire that. It was weird to see my cheating ex again, but I tried to be professional because I didn't want to screw up the suit and get punted. After that was over, we exchanged a few words, nothing major, but she inquired about my father. It occurred to me that I never actually told her what had happened and shared that he'd passed away while I was in West Virginia, which hit her harder than I'd expected.
He never told her that his dad passed away.
But didn't his dad pass while they were still together?
No.
He passed afterwards?
Yeah.
Oh.
I think. From my memory.
Yeah.
Yes.
We didn't really see each other for another year or so, but at a conference I ran into her and a group of her friends, and some of which had been my friends once. One of them, Olivia, female 27, wanted to buy me a drink.
Ooh.
Everyone's trying to get with OP.
Ooh.
Apparently, Ava had told everyone the story of me showing up at her court case and proving that she'd done her job properly. And I ended up carefully drinking a few with them while they talked about their lives. I ended up just slightly buzzed. I'd learned my lesson from Pig and suddenly alone with Ava. So, bolstered by liquid courage, I finally asked the question I'd been curious about for some 7 or 8 years. Why Todd? She hadn't even seen the guy in years. Why hook up with him and why in our apartment? Well, Ava told me some crap I almost wish I didn't believe, but her demeanor was so unguarded that I kind of do. She decided to take herself off the board, so to speak, but she didn't want me or anyone to mourn her. She called the house and found out I'd already left and was on the way back home, and so with a limited amount of time to hand, she called up Todd, got him to drive her back to her apartment, and make sure she'd get caught. That way, I'd hate her and wouldn't care if she wasn't around anymore. At this point, you're yelling things at the screen. It took all that I had not to scream at her myself, instead finding myself sitting there and blinking. Once I'd left, she summarily dismissed Todd and prepared to shuffle off. But instead, she fell apart and called one of her brood of brothers, and soon the swarm was in my old apartment. Oof.
Well, I mean, that's good. Lean on your support system.
Yeah. Wow.
I don't like OP's response being like, I wanted to scream at her and be like, is that the reaction that we find immediately when someone tells us this?
Oh, I think maybe I'm reading that as like, why would you even like think that I would ever, After a few weeks to pass all this, I decided to at least start talking to Ava again. We were friends for years before we got together. I cared about her and we did have a lot in common. Crappy girlfriend, yes, but she'd been wounded and I know full well how it feels and what it does to you. As for Rach, she showed up at my door about 6 months ago.
Okay.
She'd gotten ripped in the last few years, let me tell you. Still a few inches shorter, but incredible definition. Did you think she was going to grow?
A few inches shorter?
Did you think she was going to grow taller? He's like, she didn't. She's still shorter than me, but she's ripped.
Why are we comparing these two women like they're WWE action figures?
I don't know. Oh, is he saying shorter than? I think he's saying shorter than himself.
I think shorter than Ava, maybe?
I don't know. This doesn't make sense.
I don't know.
She told me she figured out her dad was lying after she had to come pick him up from one of the many bars he frequents and found him and the girl he'd taken pictures of me with unconscious in a booth. But like I said, I ghosted her, so she had no idea where to find me. Good job, OP. You need therapy. Stop ghosting people like you are wont to do. So instead, somewhere along the way, she decided to work with that anger, turned herself into an effing Amazon, and dealt with her crappy old man herself. Then she came looking for me. God, she gonna attack you? This sounds like she's like the Black Widow. She's like, I found you. I've been hunting you down for years.
The last thing you see before the end.
I'm positive she's leaving some things out, like maybe she talked to Jess. She and Jess had gotten along when we were married. Regardless, right or wrong, I fell back into bed with Rach as soon as she mentioned even the slightest interest. I couldn't deny her anything when we were married, and I can't do it now either. So here I am, almost 37 soon. For the past 4 months, I've been sleeping with my ex-wife while talking to my ex-girlfriend.
Super straightforward. Cool.
Wow.
A great spot.
Belton says, I thought it was want, but Dakota said won't. And I thought it was want.
No, he said, like I wont to do.
Is it won't
As
or want?
I wont to do. I don't know. He's speaking in Old English. You tell me.
Well, wanton.
Wanton.
Yeah, I think it is want.
Winton.
But he said
Like
won't.
I said Winton.
But I think it's spelled won't, but it's
As
pronounced
I'm
want.
wont to do.
Yeah, I am want to do. That makes more sense.
Like wonton.
Winton.
Yeah.
Wonton.
Yeah, you just got, like, I
As
said
I
it,
am
and then you also
wonton
said
do.
want or won't, so I just thought I was
Turn
right.
me into Chinese food.
Anyway, it's want, everyone. My bad. Who I am 50-50 on potentially wanting more. She hasn't said so, and I'm not sure if I could really trust her, even with her crazy, I hope, made-up story about self-deletion. Rach, meanwhile, we haven't really talked about, well, anything. Not her believing her dad, not how she found me after 8+ years, what actually happened to Pig. I think she handled him.
Sounds like she took care of business.
She's gotten a bit more aggressive and doesn't seem to want to talk about emotions much at all. But sometimes after we get together, she curls up in my arms and shakes a little, and I really wish I could get brave enough to ask her what she wants. So yeah, I have no idea what either of them actually want, and not even sure what I want if either of them told me. So what do I do? Do I ask them? How the heck do you ask someone, hey, are we just friends, or have you been dating me this whole time? Or, so just spicy sleep, or are we back together and not end up pissing anyone off? You just ask them that.
Nah, no, dude. Just like delete your number,
Yeah.
remove states, ghost everybody,
As you
like
were-
disappear.
As you are wont to do.
That's the new solution, right?
Yeah, you just disappear off the face of the earth.
No, dude, you just freaking speak.
That's also like the thing that he was like, how do you even ask someone, hey, are we just friends, or have you been dating this? You ask them that.
Yeah.
You already did it.
Just like that,
Just
genius.
like that.
What are we doing?
This guy needs therapy and a communication coach. I honestly can't figure out what I should be saying here. Please tell me how to deal with this. Edit. Oh my God, things got so much weirder. And we're going to pause. Because thought that was going to be a short edit, but seems like it's got information. Do you have any thoughts?
I don't know if this guy should date either of these people.
I agree.
I think he should probably find someone new.
Dude, I agree. I'm sorry. The fact that, like, again, but well, actually, before I even say this, obviously there's no excuse for cheating. But I think that if I had a partner who was in like such a terrible state, I'd ask a couple questions. You know? Like, I see her with this guy. I'd ask a couple questions before I disappeared off the face of the earth and blocked her number. If my girlfriend was in abusive state, or not abusive kind of situation with a father, and believed that I'd cheated, I'd ask more questions. He's not doing any of that. He's just like, bye.
Yeah. He's like, dang, do you think I cheated? I'm just going to act like I did by ghosting you
Bye.
and losing
I'm
your
outta
number
here.
and moving to a new place without telling you.
Yeah. Oh, he doesn't even know what he wants. He doesn't know what he wants. He's just like, oh, I like these pretty women.
Yeah, it is true. How do you... Yeah, and it's like, oh, and then you're living together after 4 months with Ava. You're married in a year, like, to Rachel.
He's
it's
going
like,
too fast. He's going way too. He speed runs his relationships. He gets together, he moves in, he marries them, and then he leaves them within the span of like 2 years. That's crazy.
Chat's got a great idea.
What? Gaycation?
Gaycation. It's a man who
Beauty
needs
of
a
the
gaycation.
Edit. Oh my God, things got so much weirder. I talked to Ava last night and I'll do an update after I get Rach to have a real conversation. At least one of my decisions have been made. Ava and I aren't going to rekindle our relationship. That much is for sure.
Well,
I mean, she's probably in a totally different headspace now.
You shouldn't do that. And also, you're rekindling both of them anyway.
Yeah.
It's just a matter of how much kindling it's going to
Does the Kindle
burn.
Does the Kindle make the fire roar?
Is the
or does
Kindle
it
in the room with
blow
us right
out?
now? Can you throw me that blanket? It's freaking cold in here. It's all right. It's okay.
It's really heavy,
all right.
and I don't have a lot of strength. In
No,
my
it's
arm
okay.
right
I'll
now.
just let that being on camera speak for itself.
So it's like 4 a.m. here, and I'm wiped out. But I have an update that shakes up a lot of things. So at this point, 2 days ago, after I wrote the original post, I, male 36, got Ava, female 36, on the phone, and we agreed to meet up and talk. At first, it was a lot of empty talk. You know, what's up? What's going on? Blah, blah. Finally, I told her that Rachel and I had reconnected. I told her I'd been married and divorced, but no real specifics, and that it wasn't just platonic. Ava didn't react much, which isn't unusual for her. Honestly, she's always been fairly unemotional, at least most of the time. But I wasn't expecting what she next told me. Namely, that she was currently seeing Olivia, female 27, and wasn't really exactly interested in a relationship with me. At least not one
Nice.
where we'd be exclusive with each other. Instead, what she was hoping for was that I'd be willing to help them conceive a child.
Oh, what?
Via donation, by the way. Wow.
What?
She's like, yeah, I came back to talk to you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. I don't want to be in a relationship with you. But you're hot.
Yeah. I don't want all this, but I want
All this.
that.
As Ava put it, I'm good looking, fit, smart, almost as smart as her was how she put it. Which I have to say is peak Ava in terms of wanting a favor from someone, and we always had a lot in common.
Brother, this is not a favor.
This is not a favor.
How you're phrasing it like that?
Yeah, this is more than a favor.
You're putting your genetics out there, dude.
I'm not as emotionally disconnected as her, and she's not as good at hyperfocus as I can be, but we're still pretty similar people. She figured if Olivia got pregnant with me as a donor, it'd be pretty close to if she got Olivia pregnant. This was also why she wasn't asking her brothers. She'd always been the odd one out in her family until she met me. She never knew anyone who was as much like her as I was. We've even had similar trauma in our lives, and we both tend to react to bad news or trauma in the same way, try and find a way to escape and avoid confronting it.
No way. You guys are like the only two people who do that. You guys are meant for each other because no one else does
No one else does that.
Special.
This isn't a good thing, mind you. It's just something she said that I had to agree with. She avoids pain by trying to break things off before she can feel it, and I do it by running away from it. Her and Olivia had started to hatch this plan once we all met at the conference, and after Ava found out about my dad. She'd felt guilty and thought maybe it would be a good thing for all of us. Olivia would have the kid she wanted, Ava and I might get back to being real friends again, and I'd get to be a dad, something I had said I was interested in back in the day.
Are you sure though? It doesn't sound like their arrangement is like, and we want you to father the child.
That is yeah.
It sounds like
Well-
they're like, hey, can you like provide the ingredients and then
I guess
thank you.
the question is, how involved would you be in the kid's life? I don't remember the particular conversation, but Ava tends to remember things like that and file them away, while if it had been a post-spicy sleep conversation, I likely was barely aware of what I was saying. I mean, I'd been 19. Ava admitted that she was still attracted to me, but she didn't want to F up her current relationship with Olivia, and she also didn't want to F up whatever I have going on with Rachel. She'd blown up a good thing once in her life and didn't want to do that again. I appreciated that, and our talk really helped me realize that whatever Ava and I had ever had, it has always been more like a friendship anyway. We've only dated because it felt like we should, like it was inevitable. I told her I'd think about donation, told her to get me details on the clinic and how that all would go. I'll need to hear from Olivia and see how much she really wants to do this before I even think about it. Plus, maybe it's just plain not a great idea. I'm still a little stunned, but aside from the whole effing another guy so you'll hate me and run so I can leave the world thing, that still has me completely mind-effed and has given my therapist quite a lot to talk about with me. Ava and I were friends for years, and I do miss being able to have someone who understands me the way she does. Still, we're not really interested in each other. Rachel wasn't harder to get in touch with, so I got her to meet up with me for a coffee. But she kept being distractingly flirty and tried to avoid the discussion. And finally, I just blurted out something along the lines of, Rachel, I still love you. Please talk to me. Yeah, that was great, OP. That was the best option you could have gone with for sure.
Scary.
Screaming at her, I love you!
Scary
She's like,
scream.
oh my God. That made her cry, which I have only seen like 2 times, and both were when we were breaking up 7 or 8 years ago. Not gonna lie, I cried a bit too. We ended up talking for a while, agreed to get together again that night, yesterday, as I type this, and she'd tell me what she'd been up to and what happened over the time we've been apart. I was nervous. I think she was too. We've both lived very different lives for a long while. She came over around 7 and we spent the next few hours finally having that talk y'all told me we should have had months ago. She left Pig somewhere in Texas 6+ years ago, beat the effer up after he tried to lay hands on her, something he usually never did because emotional abuse worked better for him. But the details are hers, not mine to share. She spent some time working as a bouncer, arms like hers, I can see it, and also did some personal training gigs in California, especially in Irvine. Dated a few people, girls and guys. OP's just dating buys left and right. I was right, by the way. She found me via Jess. She and Jess reconnected over their mutual love of tattoos, and she's actually known where to find me for 3 years, but couldn't make herself reach out. Last year, however, her mom found her. I don't think I mentioned it, but her mom, Marianne, female 62, was with Pig for a few years and then ran off when Rachel was like 2. She thought her mom just abandoned her and Pig, and that's what made Pig the craphead he was, since she had good memories of him as a dad. But no, her mom told her that she'd finally smarten up and was going to split, and so Pig stole Rach and left. Marianne tried
He's a bad pig.
Yeah, he sucks.
A real bad pig.
Marianne tried to find her, but then fell into a bottle herself, and it took her a long time to clean up and get any sort of clue where Pig and Rach were. Also, Rach is not her real name. I guess I shouldn't be surprised that Pig would call her a different name to throw off being found. Whoa! Wait, whoa! So he kidnapped the kid, her kid, I guess their kid, and then changed her name?
Man, Pig was really...
He sucked.
He was rolling around in that
Dirt and
mud puddle.
Yeah, wow.
That was dirty. That's a dirty move.
This is a crazy story. Why is OP's life so insane?
This is a little insane. Well, maybe that's just what happens when you become, by the time you get to 37.
You just have so many stories to tell.
It's just like, whoa, my ex-wife and my ex-girlfriend are back. Oh my God, they're back again.
Amy Lynn says, that won't do, Pig. That won't do. But when Marianne found Rach and they had their talk about things, Rach felt like she could come find me. So now here we are with a ton of baggage for both of us. I don't know if we can really make it as a couple. She's wounded in so many effing ways, and so am I. She's stronger than I remember her being physically, I'm sure. And she was always strong, but she's also really afraid to let herself care and then lose it again. And part of that fear is because of me and how I ran instead of staying when crap got hard. Yeah, I'm already in therapy. And like most of the commenters said, Rach really needs some too. So the final tally of our discussion. I still love her. She still loves me. Told me she never really stopped and felt awful. She'd pushed me away, even though I think it was mostly me running away. We're both different people and we can't keep effing instead of talking, so we're going to take a break from spicy sleep for a while. This will not be easy for me because her body is a work of art. But in the end, spicy sleep is the least important thing here.
God, he's become so self-aware now.
Yeah, he's like, I get it.
I like the part where he was like, she said she pushed me away, but
I think I
feel
ran
like
away.
I remember ghosting her, switching my number, and leaving town.
Yeah, what she did, she went, and then hadn't even touched him, and he was like, pfft.
Yeah, you turned on the rocket engines
he
attached to your
out of
roller
there.
skates.
Yeah.
Yeah, he really said meep, meep.
Meep, meep. We are actually going to go on dates. We didn't really do that the first time. Heck, everything went super fast the first time. Taking it slow might be good. Do you even know how to take it slow? We'll find out. She's afraid of therapy, but willing to try it. I'm going to ask my therapist if they can recommend someone. After some individual counseling, we may try couples to see how well we work for each other. I am legit terrified that this won't work. I'm also legit terrified it will, because that would mean I'd be in a healthy relationship, and I don't know what one of those even looks like. Yeah. She's asleep in my bedroom right now as I type this. She didn't want to leave, and I didn't want her to either. I'm afraid I'll F it all up again. I'm afraid she'll realize she doesn't need me and take off, or I'll try to avoid the hard times again. But I think, and maybe I'm crazy, but I really do think it could work. And even if it doesn't, if it helps her, if she gets better and leaves, I'd still be happy she got better. Sunset.
There
is a second update.
Sometimes I just wish I could fill people's brains up with rocks. Because this guy feels like he's just thinking too much.
I think he's got rocks in his head.
Stop thinking so much.
Yeah.
Just be like, I love Rachel. Rachel loves me. Don't be like, but what
I
if
love
all these
Rachel.
things could
Rachel loves
possibly
me.
happen?
Let's all go to therapy. And there we go. And that's all that matters.
That's it. Yeah. Replace the rocks in your brain that make you run away from your relationship with rocks that just make you go, do you want to go to like mini golf?
Yeah. Do you want to go axe throwing?
Do you want to like
super strong?
Talk about our shared
Do you want to
desires?
our shared trauma?
or our trauma, or I guess
yeah.
our traumas.
But folks, there's a second update.
Let's go.
Update 2. Me and Rachel, ups and downs. Not really looking for advice at this part, just telling folks what's the current situation. Rach and I have been cohabitating since last month. This is not taking it slow. You're living together.
Stop doing this thing that you do.
This is fast. This is fast.
You're in the warp speed tunnel.
He's like, yeah, we're cohabitating. That's living together.
Well, I guess they were married at some point.
Yeah, but if he wants to take it slow.
Edit the rules.
No. She's had 2 therapy sessions and says she likes the doctor. I don't know her, but that's fine. It's not like I need to.
Which doctor?
Yeah, the 12th.
The 12th, the 9th, the 11th.
There's a lot of abuse and other crap between her and that pig who pretended to be her father. And until she decides to share the details with me, I'm giving her space to work on it. My therapist has told me that I have a problem with running away. Your therapist is so good at pointing out the obvious. And gave me some reading on avoidant attachment, which may be a part of why I do that instead of just dealing with my problems. This is like in Dora, when she's like, do you see Swiper? OP's going, do you see my avoidant attachment? I don't see it.
Say I love you 3 times and maybe I'll run away or maybe I'll move in with you.
We've said we love each other. I have straight up given up booze because I am depressed when I drink. She's dragged me back to the gym. Truth be told, I was keeping active anyway because my day job can be really sedentary, but now I'm starting to get ripped again.
Oh.
You're going to get so ripped for all that running you're going to do.
You're going to get swollen from all those torn muscle fibers that rebuild themselves.
Yeah.
Wow.
I don't think I mentioned it, but I'm actually taller than Rach. I think you did mention that.
Oh, wait, so that was
yeah.
about her?
He's like, yeah, she's still shorter. It's not how height
He's
works.
looking for a real Amazonian. 7.5 feet tall,
yeah.
300 pounds of straight up muscle. Someone who could pinch your head with their thumb and index finger.
Who is herself really tall for a woman, 6 feet and change. Woo! She really is an Amazon. And the past 2 weeks have started moving me in a good direction physically. It's early days, but still enjoyable. Rach doesn't want me to donate to Ava's girlfriend, so I'm not going to. Understandable. She's probably like, yeah, I don't really want you to donate to your ex-girlfriend while we're getting together.
Yeah, I think a better thing is, what do you want out of that, dude? Do you, like, it's all good Rachel being like, hey, maybe don't do that, but like,
is that like what? Yeah, where's your head at? Because it seems like you're just like
you literally were like,
I did say that once upon a time. She's got me there.
I'm gonna be a dad.
She's not exactly comfortable with me having kids with another woman, even if it's all IVF. I can get that. Plus, to be honest, I'm not all that invested in being tied to Ava, even as a donor. Not all is great. I've been considering quitting my job for unrelated reasons without too many potentially identifiable details. I want to own my own work. It's been stressful, and the whole no spicy sleep idea fell apart within a couple of days. You guys are terrible at this. You're literally living together and sleeping together.
And
You're probably going to get married in like 2 weeks.
And you're like, but we're taking it slow.
Neither Rach nor I are perfect, and there have been 2 arguments, one big, one small. The big one was over the no spicy sleep thing and how Rach was worried it meant I didn't want her anymore. This is definitely not the case. The second fight was about why I seemed to let Ava just do crap to me, and honestly, I really didn't have an answer. Gonna bring that one up in therapy, but it did make me decide to not do the IVF deal and go low contact with Ava. I'm slowly realizing that admiring her as a professional isn't the same as liking her or being her friend, and I'm not sure why I keep letting her into my life. That was a big switch up. Rach and her mom are still in contact, but it's going slow. Like you're slow or like real slow? Sharon, honestly, I still think of her as a mom, and Jess have been in contact and have invited us to come up. By the way, you should come over and listen to full episode stories just like this. Just go to Spotify, Apple Podcasts, or iHeartRadio and search up OK Storytime.
Yes.
There is a little bit left to this story, but
yes.
do you have any final thoughts?
Yes.
What are they?
Slow it down, dude.
Slow it. Pump the brakes.
Are these the only 2 fish in your sea?
Yes. I think yes. I think these are the only 2 women he's ever known in his life. I think we would have heard about any other ones.
Get out there. Go find. I mean, dude.
Go find peace. Go on a journey of self-discovery. I don't know.
Is it like fate?
I think so.
I don't know.
I think
know.
He's
it doesn't
stuck,
feel like it.
I think he's stuck in a really dramatic romance anime.
You need the good rocks in your brain.
Yeah.
You have the bad rocks in your brain right now.
Things are happening, but not super fast. We're not remarried, and I don't know if we're even trying to go that way. Even if we were, it's only been a few weeks, and neither of us want to go that fast. But I really do love her. I've missed her and never even let myself admit how much I missed her. And I'm sort of disgusted with myself that I didn't fight harder to keep her when the whole deal with her fake dad and the cheating accusation happened. I let that craphead push me away and just ran away again. And I'm honestly effing furious with myself for it. A lot of time wasted. We might have had kids by now. And now, who knows if we ever will. Just so angry at myself. And yes, this is stuff for the therapist. Not much else to say. I am still utterly unable to stop being a total simp for Rach. And I honestly don't even care anymore. I hope this works out. If it doesn't, I hope at least it helps her heal from all the terrible crap that worthless bag of crap father did to her. Typing this makes me realize I do want us to get married again, which is really scary.
He's like, we're going to take it slow, but also I
don't even
just
know if we're
realized we
thinking
need to
about
get
marriage.
married.
And then he's like, I don't even know if I'm thinking about marriage. And now that I've said it, I'm thinking about marriage.
Oh, yeah. It's like, what's like when you like, don't think about an elephant.
Oh,
what are you thinking about now?
I thought about the elephant.
And now I have to go buy one because I thought about it.
I have to buy an elephant.
You got to buy an elephant.
So anyway, yeah, that's my reality right now. Hopefully in the future, I'll have more and more positive stuff to share. And that, my friends, is the end of that story.
Wow. What a saga.
Truly what a saga.
What a saga.
That was a tale.
Yeah.
Dang, man. Wow. Any final thoughts?
Yeah, final thoughts, like stop for a moment.
Stop for a minute.
Breathe into yourself and try to really understand what it is you want. Because it even feels like at the very end of the story, you were like, yeah, no. I mean, I might want to get married, but
Yeah,
I don't think so.
know.
And then you immediately said, just kidding, I do want to get married. You don't know what you want.
Like, I don't know. Your therapist
Your
therapist needs to work overtime with you. You need extra sessions.
Yeah, or you might need a new therapist.
Or a new therapist if this one hasn't gotten it into your noggin.
Yeah, at some point, if you're not seeing tangible improvement, which it feels like you're doing the same thing.
Yeah.
Feels like you're doing the exact same thing that you did that led
it's a
to
cycle.
where you were at before.
It's literally a cycle. Surly Sunshine says OP needs to try being alone for a bit. The thing is that it feels like OP probably has been alone in the years since divorcing Rachel.
Yes.
Like we didn't hear about any other people. Maybe he, went on dates or something. We don't know. But I think that his problem isn't necessarily that he doesn't know how to be alone. I think that he doesn't know how to pace his relationships in a healthy way. I think that's the issue.
I would agree.
But folks, that's the end of that story. And we got another one on the way.
I warned my ex's new girlfriend about him. So why is my best friend furious?
You mustn't trust him.
For context, I, 23, broke up with my ex, 31, about 1 year ago. We lasted about 3 years, lived together 2.5 months, and, well, together and with all his family in his city. By the way, this comes from user Throwaway, and if you want to submit your own stories, go to the r/OK Storytime subreddit. So, things were not good, neither with him nor with his family. I'm not going to go into the details of 2 long years in which I stopped being me and became a shadow of the person I had been. I managed to get out of that harmful relationship in which his parents and sisters and brothers participated. Of course, when I had 7 people telling me that I was to blame for the situation and that I deserved what had happened, I believed it. But that's not the point here. That's just some brief context. 2 days ago, my ex's new girlfriend, 21 or 22, I guess, from her Instagram, texted me. She noticed that my secondary account, inactive for about 3 years, was still following my ex, and she started writing me nasty words that I won't repeat. I didn't look for her to tell her anything because I had no idea she existed. I blocked my ex from all my social networks when I left him, except for that one, apparently. But I don't even remember the dang password for that account. I don't know if I would have done it if I had known of its existence. Probably not. She probably wouldn't have believed me either, just like now. However, I didn't get into the discussion, actually. I didn't answer any of the taunts or bad words, but I did warn her to get out of there. I don't know what story they told about me, but I don't care too much either. At this point, I'm just grateful that I was able to get out of there and be free after all that. So she started sending me audios that I didn't hear. I simply repeated to her that, for her sake, she should get out of that relationship in which everything now seemed wonderful before she found herself working to give them all her money, also doing all the housework and taking care of my ex, his father, and his brothers because they are men. Why can't men just be men anymore and be taken care of hand and foot by all the women around them?
Why can't men just be awful to the women in their lives?
When men were men, you know?
OP... I think
that's
you're doing...
To be clear, it's sarcasm. If anyone's thick enough out there to think I was being serious, that is sarcastic.
If anyone's got slate in the brains...
God.
OP, you got out of a terrible situation and now are trying to help someone else who is not in the space to believe you or see that you were right. And I think that you're doing all that you can.
Yeah.
There's really not much else you can do. You can't force her to leave.
Yeah, and it's not your responsibility at the end of the day,
No,
honestly.
Like, you're doing angel move to continue to hear her verbal abuse.
This is the right
while
move.
you're trying to help her.
Say, by the way, didn't listen to that. Just leave him before it gets bad. I also warned her not to buy my ex's good mask. He's not a nice guy. He knows how to lie and he knows how to manipulate. He knows how to make your life miserable while keeping you tied to him. I warned her of that and that he would become harmful. I feel like she didn't want to read anything I had to tell her, but I hope that at some point my words will click in her head. For her sake, I hope so. Now, my best friend was with me when this happened. We'll call her Betty. We were meeting another friend and they didn't say anything at first, more focused on their coffee and gossip, until I reported that I had warned the new girlfriend, and Betty seemed annoyed and told me I shouldn't have warned her. Betty seemed to even defend him this time. Betty knows the whole story, so I was surprised and asked her why she was defending my ex, but she just started saying that I had to learn to forgive and let go. I was a bit shocked, but my other friends agreed with her.
Bad friends. Bad friends. Friends.
Is your ex manipulating your friends?
Yeah. Did he get to them?
Did he get them? Since then, Betty has not spoken to me. I'm confused about that attitude because she was there to pick me up every time I was broken. She knows how it affected me and how it still affects me to this day. But she then came out with the forgive and forget crap. She even went as far as to say that I could have broken up my ex's new relationship.
It's kind of the point.
Which, yeah, was the intent if we were reading, right?
Yeah.
She said, leave that guy.
Yeah.
Your friend's like, what if she
even could have left him? Yeah, that's what she's trying to do.
Hey, You're not going to believe this. Through my other friend, I received the information that Betty had said that I was resentful and that I only said all that because I still loved my
God.
ex.
Why are your friends saying this?
He's seeing her.
Betty.
Betty's seeing your ex, dude.
Yeah.
I asked Betty directly for an explanation, but she completely ignored me. I don't understand. We've been friends since we were little. She was there when I managed to get out of that relationship, and she herself helped open my eyes. It had never been like this before. I don't know if I really did the wrong thing by warning my ex's new girlfriend or if it's something else. I don't understand why she defends him now. I don't understand why she says those things, and I don't know why she ignores me. I don't know if I can forgive her for this either. I don't know what to do. Does anyone have any idea why she took that attitude? Did I really do so wrong by advising my ex's girlfriend? And there's an update. We all know what my theory is, but
Yeah.
what about you, Sophie?
No. I think it, of course, matters what you said to her, but it doesn't seem like anything that we heard was negative or, trying to attack her. So I think that you were truly just trying to let her know what you went through and, hoping that she could avoid that.
If it's not cheating, what could it be that's making her upset?
I don't know.
Like,
It's such a weird reaction to have to a person who you helped get over this kind of really awful situation.
yeah. Okay, new theory.
Say it.
New theory is that Betty has recently undergone some sort of like life coaching and training and has been reading a lot of materials. And she is latched onto that whole forgive and forget MO as being well, that's the way you have to live your life. And that's the only way. And that's the right way. And that's every other way is wrong. So now Betty's probably just being well, I'm enlightened now, and it's I understand that you have to just forgive and forget. And I wish you could do that, but you don't get it.
My mentor always tells me that you just have to move past all of these moments because they're ephemeral and they won't last.
Yeah. So hopefully it's that one instead of
Anything else.
your friend hooking up with your ex.
I really hope it's not that.
Update. I need to get this out of the inside because not only do I feel anger, but I feel like I'm going back again because of Betty's effing whims. I feel all the faults. Again, English is not my first language, and I am also super nervous. So, some have asked me to update. They wrote to me privately asking me what happened, and even though I don't know if this counts as an update because I'm venting more than updating, I'll just leave it here. For those who don't know, I posted a post asking for help because I didn't understand why my best friend reacted the way she did when I told my ex's girlfriend to stay away from him. Not even a day passed, and I found out they were having the spicy sleep, and that's why she defended him.
We're all shocked. We are all equally shocked about this. No one saw this coming. No one saw any of this coming. Wow.
Me, I can't see.
Wow. Do you think that maybe she was so supportive of you leaving your ex because she wanted to hook up with him?
No. No.
Couldn't possibly.
No. Now, things got screwed up here. She started constantly trying to contact me, so I blocked her from all sides. She came to my family's house. I decided to stay there that night because I needed my mom, and my mom yelled at her to leave or she would call the police. Betty even made it onto Reddit once someone, I know who, Jay, and you're gonna pay me an adult soda, found the post and started passing it through our friends and started replying to messages. I'm summarizing it too much and it may not make sense, but between one thing and another, I don't even know at what point it all went so crappy. Betty's boyfriend eventually found out, but not through Reddit. Betty told him a slightly suspicious story about why we had argued, but he took the opportunity at some point to check her cell phone. He explained to me that he had only needed an excuse to do it because he suspected an affair, because he knew that Betty was lying to him. He himself has accepted that he needed to leave her after trying to deal with her for so long. I know Betty doesn't have the most straightforward character, but I thought of all the good things that outweighed that. He found out about everything and wrote to me, and I wasn't really interested in the Betty drama and her breakup. But he, now her ex, had also read messages about me between them. And I feel that I can understand why you would sleep with him if you were a piece of crap without morals. But I don't understand why you would pass him pictures of me. You would talk to him about how I'm doing, about what I do. I couldn't continue reading the conversation because I really felt sick. I've tried to get away from him in every way, blocking him, cutting mutual friends out of my life, changing my phone number. I even cut and dyed my dang hair for good measure. And she just threw all of that away. Finally, yesterday, when I got home from work and decided I deserved a nice bottle of wine, a little red, of course, she came to my house. She started screaming, crying, banging on the door. I told her to go away or I would call the police because I didn't want to hear anything she had to say to me. She ignored it, so I called the police. And my mom, of course. She kept yelling that if she ignored her, she would make me listen the hard way. She said that I deserved what she had done to me and that I was ruining her life, that I had to forgive her. And so, from my perspective, she dug her own grave.
That's just, like, none of what she just said makes any sense.
Like zero.
Like, so she says, you deserve what what happened to you. You need to forgive me.
Right. Because I read it in that book.
Like that, none of, what?
Like, if this was your friend for like years and years and years and was always there for you, and then this is like a switch up, this is one of those things where it's like, is it a tumor?
Yeah,
Like,
honestly.
Honestly, like.
When did she start seeing this guy? Because I'm sorry, if I had a friend who was in like a terrible relationship with a horrible person, and I heard like everything that person did, and then I was like, yeah, that's the person I wanna. They vetted him,
Right.
and he did not pass.
Well,
so
they're not, because Betty's in a relationship. So this is the infidelity
No, that's what. Yeah, I'm saying.
spike.
Yeah.
Oh, I
That's
thought you
who
were.
she wants to get together with.
Oh, well, yeah. I mean, in my head, it makes. Look, I don't cheat, so I wouldn't know. But
Yeah.
it makes sense that it's like, oh, if I'm going to cheat, I should cheat with the
The
scumbaggiest,
scumbag of-
worst
yes,
guy.
scum of the earth.
Because I'm
'Cause
already cheating.
He'll be down for it.
You know,
Yeah.
it's like, ooh, do I put a third scoop of ice cream on there? Screw it. Let's just eat the whole pint.
Let's eat a piece of mud.
Yeah, but it's mud
It's
pie.
free. It's
mud
free.
pie ice cream.
Get it outside.
Smoking baby.
Don't gotta pay a cent for it.
Okay, I can overlook on empty threats. I can even deal with the fact that now I feel insecure again knowing that my ex can find me. I can be okay with all of that. I'll survive. I always have. But then she blamed me. She told me in front of the police and my mom that I deserved what my ex had done. She said that it was my own dang fault because surely I had done something wrong, that there was most likely something wrong with me, that he, with her, was not like that, that he even cried for me when she showed him my photos. And I know it might sound
What?
silly. Wait, so is she, not only is this insane woman
Cheating with this.
cheating on her partner with this scumbag guy who
Yeah.
did OP so dirty,
Yeah.
she's now trying to say that he's actually a softie who just misses you. Really, I've just been trying to get you guys back together?
What would the point of showing him her pictures be?
She's the bridge.
I don't understand. She's like, no, you don't get it. I've been hooking up with him so that you guys can get back together.
She's trying
'cause
to
he's
be the
actually
glue.
great.
That's crazy.
This woman is clinically insane.
That's
Tuma.
crazy. I'm sorry. That's wild. She's like, I'm the fixer-upper.
She's like, just
Oh,
call me
God.
matchmaker.
Oh,
Girl's crazy.
I really do. But after spending so much time in therapy and blaming myself and feeling inadequate and feeling like something was wrong with me and feeling like no one would ever love me because I felt dirty and damaged, that was the worst thing she could have said. And she knew it because she knew how I had felt. And she knew that was taking a knife and opening up an old wound. So, F it, Betty. I can't give details right now, but I just got out of the police station. I'm waiting for the complaint to be processed because I don't want to get involved in legal matters here. I don't know if it could affect it in any way. I'm extremely lucky to have witnesses, support, and the love of my family and friends. I'm hiring a good lawyer, too. Well, my unrecognized and non-biological dad is doing it, my stepfather. He works in justice, too, so he knows a lot more about all this than I do. I just wanted to get it off my chest before I went to work. From here, it's a long, hard, and mentally exhausting process that's going to start because my ex is also involved. I would have left things as they were, but I feel like I can't just live taking other people's crap anymore. Maybe that was the message I gave at that moment, that he could step on me whenever he wanted without any consequences. But mess with my best friend to keep pestering me? No. Nope, no more. That was the last straw that made the dang glass explode.
What?
That's an interesting way to think about that.
That's a malphorism. Or what is
Instead of the straw on the camel's back, these are like actual drinking straws that you've put into a glass.
Into a glass.
You put so many that it...
And then it's... Glass half full or half empty or full of straws.
As the last straw squeezed into that dang exploding glass.
When life gives you straws, explode a glass with them.
Break glass. Yes. F you two. If Jay passes this post again and you see it, I really want to say that I hope you two have a hard time and that you really feel something of what I felt those days. You said that I would end up forgiving and forgetting for being too good. There's no forgive and forget here, not anymore. They hurt me in the worst possible way. I'm just going to defend myself legally. I don't care how much damage this causes them, and I don't mind ruining their lives and ending their careers. I don't care if that happens. Not when I don't even feel safe at home anymore. I should have done it when I left him initially, but I didn't even have the strength to support myself. Now I have it, and fortunately for me, or I guess unfortunately for them, I also have the rage to carry it out. By the way, you should carry out listening to full episodes with stories just like this one, which you can carry out on Spotify or Apple Podcasts or iHeartRadio or wherever you listen to podcasts. All you gotta do is search OK Storytime. It's that simple.
It's that easy.
And then I guess you gotta click on like an episode, but
then it's that easy.
It's pretty pretty simple. So there is a little bit more story left.
I think you just gotta move countries.
Yeah, like definitely legally
Start
do
over.
whatever you can be done to protect yourself from your ex.
Get like
But,
a
like-
restraining order. I don't know.
Yeah,
Cut off freaking Betty.
definitely
Tell
block
everyone,
territory
yeah.
100%.
Yeah.
But like, I'm not sure where you're at. But if you just like, were like, you know what? I just want to start a new life. Like this is one of those scenarios when it's like just wiping the slate and starting a new life kind of makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're one she was your best friend and now she's like your enemy and it's like
and
all
it
their
seems
family.
Like the
does
other
it,
friends,
yeah.
kind of agreed with Betty, at least
Right.
before they knew, hopefully they didn't know that Betty was cheating with her ex.
Yeah. So it's a really scary, like hard thing to tear it down and start over, but
Yeah.
it can be really fulfilling as well. And it's less scary the more that you do it. I've done it.
Yeah.
I've done it multiple times.
I have not.
And the first time is really scary. But at some point you just go, hey, I'm
That's
rolling
life.
with it. I'm
Bada
rolling with
bing.
the punches.
Let's finish her off.
Let's go. I am angry. Ooh. I feel betrayed and hurt, and I know I don't deserve it. However, I also know that I'm not alone. I know it's going to be hard, but I go to therapy. I have an amazing family and friends who didn't hesitate to send Betty straight to the lake of fire. Well, that's good. Okay, so you do have friends. Despite everything, I'm fine. I will be fine. As long as I have myself, I know I'll be. I'm going to go to work, but my heart is racing and many things are on my mind. I just hope I can say it's all over soon, although the judicial process will take time. Much love and health to all. There's an edit. I didn't say it here, but my ex was an abuser. Not going to spread the details. And that is the end of that story.
Yeah. Get those people out of your life and make sure they stay gone.
Yeah.
But folks, that's the end of that story and the end of this episode.
So, if you love us, make sure you subscribe.
We love you and see you tomorrow.